Hey guys, so today I wanted to make this video to talk about my Minecraft Pocket Edition server and what I plan on doing with 0.12.1 and what I want to do with 0.12.0 betas, or 0.12.1 betas I mean, and what I just want to do with the current server. So I'm going to explain a little bit about the current server because I'll be honest, the current server sucks. It's really, really bad. So I just gotta want to explain what I'm going to do in the future and what I want to do with the current server and stuff like that. So first off, I'm just going to explain why this server sucks, blows, whatever you want to call it, why it is that way. So first off, you have to use a server software called PocketMine to host servers. There's no other, official software from Mojang. There's no other third-party software. You have to use PocketMine. And, whatever, not a big deal. The problem with PocketMine is that their plugin variety isn't all that great anymore, and I'll talk about that in a second, but also it's just not well built. So going back to the plugins, there's not a whole lot of great anti-griefing plugins and admin plugins to maintain the server and make sure that people can't grief and people can protect their stuff like that. There's not a whole lot of great plugins, but there used to be, because what they did, and it was probably like a year ago, is they updated the back ends of the server software, and basically, well, no, not basically, what they did is made every single plugin for PocketMine incompatible. Every plugin, the file type was completely different. So to get your plugins to work with PocketMine again, you had to rewrite everything. I don't remember, what changed, but you had to rewrite your plugins to make it work in PocketMine again. And that really hurt them because a lot of people actually did, update and rewrite their plugins for the new version of PocketMine, but some of the best plugins were never updated and never have been replaced by some other plugin. People didn't want to take the time. I mean, they spent a lot of They spent a lot of time, with their work, and it, just for it to be not used, not updated anymore. They had to rewrite it completely, and that was just really, really awful because you've never seen that with Bukkit. So to host my PC server, I use Spigot, which is kind of like a modified version of Bukkit, and it supports all Bukkit plugins. And with Bukkit, they never once updated their system so that every plugin was incompatible. They've updated Bukkit before and made it so specific plugins weren't compatible, and they didn't do it on purpose. It just happens. You have to keep your plugins up to speed with Bukkit, but for the most part, there's times where I can use plugins, that were designed on Minecraft 1.2. Yeah, we're going back a long time, and still work on Minecraft 1.8. So, Bukkit has done a good job when it comes to plugins, and PocketMine did the complete opposite and made everything incompatible. Then when it comes to stable versions of PocketMine, it just isn't there. So the most stable version supports MCPE 0.10.x. Well, okay, let me explain. There's three different release types. There's stable, beta, and development. So their stable versions are their most, stable, obviously. If the name of it wasn't obvious enough, but it's just the version with the least amount of issues, and the fact that it supports 0.10.x, okay, not a big deal. Then they have their beta version, which basically says it's not going to be the most stable version, but for the most part you can use it, and it's not going to have a whole lot of issues. That one supports 0.10.x, no 0.11.x support in that department, and that kind of is messed up. So whatever, moving on to the development version. That version basically says don't run this on your server. You could run into world corruption and all kinds of different problems, hackers, whatnot, and it's just not going to be stable at all. That's the only version that supports 0.11.x, MCPE 0.11.x. That's the only version. I mean, why they can't just keep it up to date? At least having a beta version that supports 0.11.x. I mean, come on. I mean, the development version is garbage, and it just shows, looking at my server, that it just isn't good. Now, some people do a better job of maintaining the server than I do. I could definitely do a better job on my part, but The best servers I've seen for Pocket Edition are minigame servers because they don't allow you to break stuff or build stuff or anything like that. You just are stuck running around, doing some PvP and stuff like that in different areas, and just minigames. But when it comes to my server, it's survival, and you run around and you can do whatever you want. You can build whatever you want, you can collaborate with other people and build whatever you want, and just do whatever you want. Well, relatively speaking, you can't technically, you can't, hack the server because then you'll get banned. Well, if it was the PC server, that's true, but with PocketMine, it's not really easy to see because its anti-cheat is not very good at all. So going back to my PC server, which is kind of unfair because, Bukkit is a lot, older and more well built, but that has a detection against flying. So if somebody's up in the air too long, they'll get kicked. With PocketMine, I've even used just a regular flying survival cheat myself, made myself not OP anymore so that I could get kicked, and it didn't detect it. It's like, it can't be that difficult to do. I mean, I have anti-cheat turned on, and even with the PC server, I mean, there's some people who have a mod that'll make them jump high, and, it kind of is a way to fly, but, with PocketMine, I could just fly. I didn't, I was in survival, I wasn't in OP, and I could just fly around and whoop-de-doo. You can't do that in the PC server, you'll get kicked. So their anti-cheat isn't all that well built, and it's just, bad. So what do I want to do with 0.12.1? So for the betas, I do want to open up a 0.12.1 beta server so people can play and test out 0.12.1 multiplayer, and they can get an idea of how it works, and if they run into any bugs, they can submit it to the developers, and PocketMine, I could submit some stuff to PocketMine and say, this is what works, here's my suggestions, although they don't have a great way of doing that, I'll be honest. But yeah, something like that so people can at least test out 0.12.1 multiplayer and all the new features. And unfortunately, the Windows 10 edition doesn't work with the 0.12.1 server. And just to bring this up, you can actually use there is a version of PocketMine that supports 0.12.1, except it's not on their website. You have to go download it from somewhere else. But yeah, there is a version that supports it. And I tried it out and it does work. I mean, not great, resource hog, but it works. So that's what I plan on doing. But the thing is once the 0.12.1 beta once the 0.12.1 beta is over, I would delete the world for 0.12. On the 0.12.1 server and close down the 0.11.x server. Jeez, I'm like tripping all over myself and I don't know, weird stuff. I'm tired. Anyways, close down the 0.11.x server and replace it with a new 0.12.1 server that would have a new world and everything, and basically just reopen the server. So yeah, I'd get rid of the old 0.11.x server. Man, I'm having a problem saying 11. 0.11.x. Okay, let me say it again. 0.11.x. Okay, we got it. Anyways, close down that server because it sucks and the world is destroyed. And some people might want that world for God knows why. But, some people might. So I could make a download for that map so people could at least play on it again. Although I don't think PocketMine maps work with Pocket Edition. I'd have to look into that. But yeah, that's just, I'm going to just close that server down, sweep it under the rug, and basically reopen it with a brand new map supporting 0.12.1 when 0.12.1 releases. So I can't have two servers open at the same time. So while the 0.12.1 beta server is open, the 0.11.x server will also be open as well. So I'm not going to open up the 0.12.1 beta server today. I'm actually going to wait until tomorrow or the day after that so I can try, getting everything set up somewhat correctly. At least getting it set up so that it's usable. And, that's what I'm going to work on tonight and just getting it set up for everybody. And then hopefully tomorrow I can get it opened up and I'll give you the IP address and the port and all that stuff so that you can at least give it a shot. And I will do a video on that so everybody can see it, and I'll probably do some gameplay as well. Just fly around the server and stuff like that. But right now I'm rambling. But I just want to see what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. Would you want the download for the 0.11.x map? Although, like I said, I don't know if PocketMine maps are compatible with Pocket Edition. I think it's a different format. And then also, would you want to see a 0.12.1 beta server even though the map is going to be deleted at the end of the 0.12.1 beta? Leave your comments down below. I want to know what you guys think, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.